So Toby, give us a bit of an idea as to why you started thinking in the direction of church planting.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I was doing a lot of surfing with my brother, and we're going on a surf trip to Samoa, and my dad came to me and said, Toby, he was quite anxious about our safety while we were surfing on the reef there. He said, Toby, why are you risking your life for something that's ultimately meaningless when you could be risking your life for something, for sharing the gospel with people who don't know it? And at that point, it really struck me. And I remember thinking, man, I need to start thinking about risking my life for the sake of bringing the gospel to people who don't know it. And at that point, I decided that I'd become a missionary to Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere extremely risky. And a couple of years later, I got married. And before I got married to my wife Liz, I asked her, look, we're heading overseas, and are you cool with that? And she was like, yeah, that's cool. We've been married a couple of years, and I'm like, there's no way my wife is ever going to go overseas. And her family's too close, and she is quite concerned about her security. And then I realised there's no way I'd cope overseas as well. And so then we started thinking, okay, where can we be on mission locally? And we realised that Sydney really is a place which needs missionaries sent to new tribes and cultures. And so we started looking around Sydney, and we kind of targeted the area between the city and Bondi as a place where churches are doing it tough. The culture's fairly strongly anti-Christian, but these people, they need hope and they need Jesus, and so we started thinking about going on mission there.
Well, thinking's one thing. How did you take it to the next step? I mean, what did you decide to do then?
Yeah, I had a group of great friends who are also interested in being on mission in Sydney, sent as missionaries, even though they're working a job. And we've been gathering since the end of last year every month to meet and pray and talk about what kind of church God would have us start. So we've been meeting for the last year every month, and we've got about 13 adults, 6 kids, and we've been meeting in Surrey Hills, but our vision is for the inner city of Sydney, east towards Bondi.
Give us a bit of an idea of what is really sort of bearing on your mind at the moment. I mean, it's not all home and hosed. You're not going to open up next week. You've got goals to sort of kick first. So what are some of the ones on your mind now?
Well, Tim Keller says that church planting in the inner city is 2 to 3 times more expensive than anywhere else, and for that reason, a lot of people don't plant churches in the city. And that single reason caused Tim Keller to go elsewhere and try and raise external funding for his church plant in Redeemer in New York. And so at the moment, that's what I'm casting a vision for, to people who aren't going to be a part of our little church plant, but who believe in what we're doing and who will give money for that cause, for the gospel in the inner city. That's on my mind. I mean, we're hoping to. I'm finishing college this year, and we're about to have a baby, and then we'll move, and so there are a bunch of big things happening all at once. But it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah, I was just wondering, are there any other big things you could put into that at the same time?
Yeah.
How are your prayer points? So what particularly could we think of?
Yeah, you can pray that God to provide for our needs. We're anxious about next year because living in the inner city is quite expensive. Pray for our daily needs, that God to provide for them. We're starting a church because we care about the lost, and we really believe that people who don't know Jesus are lost without Him and without hope. And so pray that we'd be effective, that God would use us to make disciples of the Lord Jesus.